What are you talking about? The plate is like this big. Well, howdy, folks. Happy signing day to you and yours.
Signing day.
Wow.
What a great day for
I
a
know.
bunch of seniors across the country.
Crazy.
Momentous day.
I mean, I feel like we've been talking about these recruits forever.
Like they're part of your family now, aren't
Yeah, I know too much about them.
they? Not in a creepy, weird way.
Yeah,
In a good way.
Yeah. But it's a day to celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my signing day. It was pretty anticlimactic, to
Really?
be honest with you. I didn't
Were
have
your parents there? Were there balloons? Was there
none of that.
what, did you just go in a sad hallway and like
No.
were the lights flickering and
I don't know. I feel like the kids these days, it's like it's a big event. They're at their high school gym signing, and everyone from the school is there. And I was like at my kitchen table. I just signed it and just like put it back in the envelope and sent it off. Nobody was there. I was by myself.
That really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't know. I think at the time I didn't think it was a big deal.
If I would have known that, I would have brought in something for you to sign today on the show.
Shoot.
With some champagne.
Do a reenactment.
With some champagne. Some
We
balloons.
would do-
I would have gotten you like UT balloons. I would have been in all burnt orange.
Yeah. Well,
just be prepared. That could happen.
I know. I mean, is that kind of sad?
No, I think it's great.
That I just basically sat at the table by myself.
No, I do
sign
think
it.
that's sad. I think we should recreate your signing day.
Okay. All right. Maybe we can have a do-over.
Yeah.
Maybe this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or yeah. Or we have to
Wear
do it
like
live
a
on the
UT
show. We have to do it live on the show. Yeah.
I guess I can't wear my Letterman's jacket because it would be like that happens later.
Right.
But it looks so cool.
But I still have some of my old UT stuff from when I coached there. Although my wife is making me get rid of some of it. Mm-hmm. It's going to Goodwill this week, actually.
Oh, bummer.
But I have some burnt orange shoes. I could break some of this stuff out for you.
Okay.
I would do that for you.
I feel like it might be a little big. But
You calling me fat?
No. I mean, like your shoes will be a little big for me.
Okay.
You're definitely, you're not fat. Come on. Get out of here. Well,
it's signing day. That's
it's signing day. We just released the top recruiting classes for the class of 2020, and to everyone's surprise, it's Florida State with the number one recruiting class.
Florida State, they have 5 top 100 Hot 100 prospects.
Yeah.
Who sticks out to you with Florida State's recruits?
Janai Kerr. She's a 5-tool player. When you see her on the field, she absolutely stands out. I think she's going to do incredible things at Florida State. And I think some real sleepers are Kaylee Harding, Hallie Waycaser, Michaela Edenfield. I think these players are going to be absolutely dynamite on offense. And I think they're just going to be really exciting to watch.
I think it's interesting that Florida State has, you would expect Florida is the perennial Florida school. Mm-hmm. And Florida didn't even make the top 10 with their recruiting class. Do you think there's a shift in recruiting down there in Florida? Is Florida State the perennial school now? What's the deal?
I think there's always going to be kind of like this balancing act happening recruiting wise. But we also saw that there have been players that have went up in the Hot 100 and dropped out of the Hot 100. And what we're seeing in the 2020 class, a lot of these recruits committed when they were like in the 8th grade. Mm-hmm. So some of them got better and some of them stayed the same. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it goes. But I think Florida State should absolutely be excited about this class. Offensively, they're at the top of their game. LSU brings in a huge recruiting class.
I don't think Nick's on today, so we can talk about LSU all we want, and we can.
I bet D'Angelo's on.
I think I saw. Yeah, no, that was from Daniel tagged D'Angelo. I don't know where D'Angelo is. I don't know where Nick is. We can talk about LSU all we want.
Yeah,
we can jinx them. They have the number 2 class. They have 6 Hot 100 players. Who's your favorite?
I would have to say Danica Coffey. She's a middle power lefty, extremely athletic. She's a player in my mind that's gotten better and better. She's played at the highest level with the Texas Bombers. And I think she's got a ton of upside when it comes to power, gap-to-gap power, RBI power. I think it's going to be a battle for them up the middle, especially when they've recruited Danica, Presley Pylon, Kennedy Hushmanzada. So we'll see what's going to happen up the middle and who fits where. I think offensively, that's what it's going to come down to. Who's going to be able to produce on offense and play steady on defense.
And then Arizona comes in at number 3.
I think Arizona should be very excited about this class. And I saw that in extra innings recruiting classes, they were at the top. Super excited about this class. They had a late ad with Devin Netz, who was absolutely stellar this summer during PGF. She took the SoCal Athletics Richardson on a great run. That kid is a freaking competitor. And then right behind her, Carly Scoopin. Wow. To me, she is a premium left-handed bat. I could see her putting up 20 or more home runs easy.
Big bat.
She's a big bat.
Big bat.
She was a Gatorade Arizona State Player of the Year. She plays on a very competitive Oro Valley Suncats team. I expect a lot out of her offensively. And then right behind her, let's see, kind of dropping off here.
I mean, Ches just went through all of that off the top of her head. She has to reference her notes right now for a second. Give her some slack, people.
Yeah. Jasmine Perez-Chica and Sophia Carroll right behind them.
She could keep going.
Jasmine Perez-Chica, I really, really like her. Really good balance of speed and power. She's going to be a great outfielder. She'll join her teammate from last season, Janelle Miono. And wow, I think offensively, the versatility of this Arizona class is at the top. Sophia Carroll, she's a great profile middle. I expect her to also hit for power and average. But they have big shoes to fill when Arizona graduates. Jesse, what am I?
Again, you can take a break. Like, folks, like, I feel like there's gonna, like, smoke is gonna come out of her ears. Like, she is,
like, I've been in a dark room, like, working on these rankings for a long time.
I don't have any.
Jesse Harper, Jesse Harper.
I don't even need to
Harper,
be,
Malia Martinez.
I don't even
on
need
the
to
left
be here
side. Alyssa Palomino. You're talking about
big time people.
This class graduating at Arizona. This is like an impact class.
But they have really good crews.
And then this 2020 class coming in from for Arizona is going to be lights out, I think.
I think Arizona is going to be stellar, top notch this season. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Wildcats this year.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to add to the recruits. Ches pretty much took care of that.
Yeah, and
all
then
by herself.
On the pitching front with Devin Netz and adding Jesse Fontes from the SoCal Choppers, I think they got a really balanced 2020 class when it comes to middles, outfield, pitching, power and speed. So that is something they should absolutely look forward to out of this class.
We got a question on Arizona's pitching. What is your input for the incoming class for Arizona pitching?
For the 2019 class or the 2020 class?
I'm going to guess Myron is meaning the 2020 class.
I Devonette's got a sneaky up ball. I think she is a proven competitor. She's been tested at the highest level. She literally plays against the best teams weekend in and weekend out. And just Jessie Fontes, we've been talking about since she was an 8th grader.
True story.
And she's been with the Choppers organization forever, I feel like. Good screwball, true competitor. So I think Taryn Mowat has a really good... She has 2 pitchers who have edge. And then when they have talent paired with that edge, and then they're working with Taryn Mowat, I think it's a real recipe for success.
Our friend Nestor thinks that Arizona might win it all this year. He's going on a limb.
I mean, I think
Nestor,
they have a possibility.
That's salty pick from Nestor.
Yeah, I wonder. We'll see.
Okay,
I think
we'll see.
We're missing Deja.
Yes, that's it. And somebody else commented that Deja's going to be out this
They're
season.
missing Deja, but I think all the other parts are really strong. Mariah Lopez, and then you have Jessie Harper, Malia
Mariah Lopez
Martinez.
is a great pickup.
Yeah, I think all the other positions and up and down their lineup, they're really, really strong. So I expect them to be in OKC.
Oh yeah, I would be very surprised if they're not in OKC.
Totally.
Kelly thinks the Sooners are going to win it all this year.
I think they could.
I think they could.
I mean, they're Studley.
Do you want to talk about Oklahoma? They're number 5.
Yeah.
Since we're talking, and then we'll come back. Number 4 was kind of a surprise to me. I think we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about 4, but Oklahoma.
Okay. Oklahoma.
Number 5 for the
They have the number
class.
1 recruit.
They sure do.
Again, Jada Coleman, once again, comes in the number 1 spot. And it's really, she's kind of undeniable. Speed, power, versatility. She played on the junior Olympic team, and they had her batting up and down that lineup. It didn't really matter. She steals bases. To me, and then her overall presence on the field is really unmatched. The energy that she brings to the field is incredible. It'll be interesting to see what Oklahoma positions her. I really think she's going to be in the outfield.
Yeah.
With given her speed
Yeah.
and athleticism, I can see her in center field. I don't want to see her at first base just because she's just so athletic, and it's hard to keep that amount of speed in a position where you don't have that much room to run. But I see her as a top of the lineup type hitter. She's going to put up a decent amount of home runs. She's going to steal bases. She's going to wreak havoc on the bases.
I think we've had her as number 1.
The kid's a stud. She's a freaking
since
stud.
We've done 2020, right? Like the class of 2020, she's
Yeah.
always been number 1. Like I don't think she's ever fallen out of that position.
And the kid, she's so athletic that she can play middle infield. Like, do I think she's going to play middle infield for Oklahoma?
I think the outfield suits her really well.
She's got a
her
strong
speed.
arm. She's just kind of a freak. I love watching that kid play.
In a good way.
Yeah. And then Tiare Jennings, stellar shortstop from Batbusters Stith. She is steady as they come, consistent as they come. She's going to play her position very well. Good range, strong arm, versatile. She'll hit for power and average. I mean, she's profile middle.
Name it. You name it.
She's a stud.
She's a stud.
And then you have Nicole May coming in, and then you have Zeta Pooney, who dropped a little bit in the rankings.
So Florida State's number 1, LSU's number 2, Arizona's number 3, Oklahoma's 5, Auburn.
I think
number
Auburn
4.
has, in my mind, for the 2020 class, they've recruited the best pitchers out of the class.
They have 6 Hot 100 players. You really like the pitchers they picked up.
Oh, hell yeah.
What about them?
Maddie Penta, when you have a pitcher who could touch 70, I think we saw with Montana Fouts and some who had doubts about Montana Fouts. I didn't mean to rhyme.
Oh,
I didn't mean
to
rhyme. I didn't.
It's written down on our laptop. I can see it right here.
No. It's tough to beat. And I think Mickey Dean has proven that he has a good track record with pitchers. Hell, he recruited Megan Good and Jalen Ford, and now he has his hands on working with Maddie Penta and Shelby Lowe.
Yeah.
So you have a pitcher and two very different styles. Maddie Penta, she throws hard. She can be a little wild at times, but 70 is 70, folks.
Yeah. I don't care where it's going if it's 70. Like 70 is.
And then Shelby Lowe, who is crafty and mixes speeds and works up and down in the zone. I think both those two pitchers are going to complement each other so well. And
it's scary, man, to think about what Auburn, like, I think Auburn's kind of on the rise, right? They've had a couple seasons where they've been rebuilding and some scandal. I think in the SEC you need a good duo of pitchers, and I think they have it. I'm excited to see what their season looks like. I'm excited to see, again, 70 is 70. Like, I'm excited to see that.
And then a real sleeper in the class is Denver Bryant, who was playing baseball, switched over to softball. And I'm telling you right now, I think she's going to be a fan favorite for the Auburn Tigers. The kid's got game. She's going to hit for power. She's going to hit for average. She's got savvy like no other. She got invited to the USA women's baseball team. I'm pretty sure she'll make it.
Is she your dark horse of recruits?
I really like her.
Okay.
I really like her.
Cue the dark horse. No, we don't have it yet? Okay.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a stud.
Okay.
I mean, I just...
So that's the top five. Florida State, LSU, Arizona, Auburn, Oklahoma. South Carolina is really high at 8.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit. They had a late ad.
You're going to skip over the Aggies? I mean, you work there. You're gonna skip over
I was going to, yeah, but we don't have to.
Like, I think Aggie fans... Look out for Bree Warren.
All right.
I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
Remember that name. Her father has a bit of a history at Texas A&M, kind of a Hall of Famer.
Just a little bit.
But she's a 6-foot center fielder, speed, power. I mean, this kid, I think, is going to be really, really good.
Wow. All right. All right, Aggies.
Yeah. She's the kid that you want walking off the bus first.
Fair. Okay. Well, all right. Now I'm going to go to South Carolina.
Okay,
because,
South Carolina. All right. We're going on to the Gamecocks.
We skipped Alabama at 6, but,
yeah.
Alabama's Alabama. They're going to bring in great recruits all the time. South Carolina had a late ad with Zoe Leno to kind of bump them up into the 8th spot. They have 5 Hot 100 players. What's your take on the Gamecocks?
Zoe Leno.
That's your take?
That was a huge pickup. This kid is probably going to hit over 20 home runs.
Another huge bat.
Yeah, another big bat in the lineup. She's a bigger kid, but she moves really, really well. She plays for Georgia Impact. She's one of the premier third basemen in her class, like hands down. And not only that, she bats from the left side. So how many third basemen, power lefties?
Not a lot.
That can hit for 20 plus home runs.
Not a lot.
So I'd say that was a really great pickup for them. They have Riley Blampede, who is another great middle. She played for Georgia Impact last summer, but she's now on the East Cobb Bullets. I like Aaliyah White for South Carolina. Super athletic kid, 5-tool player, plays for the Atlanta Vipers. Kid's going to steal bases. She'll hit him in the gap. She'll hit over the fence. I would find it really difficult to not see her starting in the outfield. That's what I think. I mean, the kid's like super athletic, but I think they've done a really great job in this class for 2020 South Carolina.
There you go. South Carolina fans.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
And then
so much info.
Oregon.
You got any questions? I know I've been like rambling on.
There's a good one that I got in my back pocket. We'll get through the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon and Washington round out the top 10. And then, like I said, Florida didn't even make the top 10. They're 11. Anything else?
Yeah, but
anything else?
That's also to say that they have a smaller recruiting class.
Yeah.
So that's why you see Oklahoma a little, not as many opportunities.
Right. Oklahoma has 4 Hot 100 players. Florida only has 3, but they have number 11, number 19, number 69.
Yeah, and they only have 5 recruits.
Yep.
So
they recruited well for their Any other recruits anywhere that kind of tickle your fancy?
Well, I mean, I'm going to go to Alabama. I think Bailey Dowling is going to be a very special player. She's going to be a player for Alabama that I wouldn't be surprised if she's a 3 or 4-time All-American. She has power to all fields. We've seen that she's been doing this since I saw her like way back when I think I first started this job.
Which was 4 years ago.
I had to go to the Veterans Tribute Showcase, and I saw that kid hit an Oppo home run, and I was like, that kid's going to be good. And then like it wasn't too long after she committed to Alabama. But she was one of the other 2020 players on the junior national team, along with Jada Coleman. The kid's a freaking stud. I just think she has tremendous upside. I wouldn't be surprised if she put up like 18 or so home runs, maybe even more. I mean, she's been the Illinois State Gatorade Player of the Year for back-to-back seasons now.
So you're going with 3 players at least going 20 home runs.
Yeah, I could see
out
that.
The gate. That's what we're going with. Ches is making big time predictions here.
Yeah.
There's a good question from Chuck.
Yeah.
Best conference recruiting class. Which conference won this?
Let's take a look. I didn't look at all of the conferences. I mean, right out the gate, it's ACC, SEC, Pac-12.
The SEC fills in a lot. Yeah. SEC and Pac-12 fill in a lot of the top 10. Just by sheer numbers, the SEC probably has more just because they have more teams. But you don't... Pac-12...
They're up there.
Arizona State's number 12. UCLA is down in the 20s with only 1 top Hot 100 recruit.
They have 3 recruits.
Yeah, so
I mean they had a really nice size recruiting class last season. Actually, I think they only had like 4 or 5, so it wasn't too big. I would be expecting a big one to come soon.
If I'm looking at this and I gotta pick one that won, I say the SEC nudged out Pac-12 just a little bit. They have the number 2 recruit, they have the number 3 recruit. I'm looking for number 4. I don't see him, but they also have number 5, I believe. Pac-12 has number 5. I don't know. I think I give the edge to the SEC just a little bit.
Yeah.
If I got to pick one, but there's a lot of SEC and Pac-12 in the top 10.
Yeah,
15.
but ACC is at the top.
ACC's the number 1.
SEC.
But you don't get another
12.
ACC until you get down to number 14 at Notre Dame. So.
Yeah.
There you go, Chuck. Take that for what it's worth.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
And Chuck will be on to the 2021s for the next ranking. So.
We have had, I think, is there anything else that you would like to impart on the softball faithful about Hot 100 2020 recruiting classes?
You know, I spent a lot of time researching these kids. A lot of time locked in a room.
Ches is the most knowledgeable person in the world about the class of 2020.
Yeah, I think I see like there's really like these top tier pitchers, and then kind of like it kind of trickles down after that, and then you kind of have a minutia of like so.
Yeah.
pitchers. And then there's just like a group of middles that I really think are solid defensively. Probably will hit for low average and like low power numbers, but they're solid players.
Yeah.
I just saw a large grouping of them. And just there's not a huge group of catchers that can also hit for power. So like when you find those, like you really got to hold on to those. But I really think Florida State's got a stellar class, and they got a really, really nice 2021 class coming up. And, you know, we're going to see this whole shift, too, once we get to the 2021 rankings, too, because obviously you have some schools that I think are going to rise to the top that we don't see in this current list, just because it's a smaller recruiting class this time around.
All right.
I
think somebody asked about Mike White. I'll let you talk about Texas. They're number 19.
What's his recruiting grade?
They're number 19.
You know, I'm waiting to see. I don't think it's fair to give a grade right away. Obviously, they had 2 players in the Hot 100, which is great for Texas. Riley White, undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
And then Alyssa Washington, I think, is a sleeper. Also in the Hot 100, and they have a few others that are sleepers. But I want to see how they do first against tougher competition, and then I'll be able to give a better assessment. But as of now, I think they're doing a pretty good job. And I think what's exciting about Texas is that they're really, really trying to rally the community in Texas around the program. And I tell you right now, that coaching staff, they're working their asses off.
Oh, yeah. I think his recruiting, whatever you want to give his grade now, I think it's only going to improve the longer he is at Texas and he gets a foothold in the state. Texas is going to be a really, really phenomenal program.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them in Oklahoma City.
It's coming. I don't know if it's going to be this year.
If they can get it together.
I don't know if it's going to be this year, but it's going to be soon.
I think
it could be this year.
With Elish and your favorite Shea O'Leary.
I love me some Elish too.
Yeah.
I do. I think Texas's time is coming again.
Oh wow! It just rambled off. Where'd the time go?
I know. Oh my goodness, we have 3 minutes to talk about the MPF's new team.
Yeah.
The California Commotion have been confirmed for the 2020 season.
Yeah.
So there are 3 U.S. teams and there are 3 national teams. There's Chicago Bandits, Cleveland Comets, California Commotion, Aussie Peppers, Canadian Wild, and I don't know how to say that.
Shoe Gang.
Thank you. Eagles, the Chinese team. The MPF finally has a West Coast presence.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard you guys comment over and over again about how you wish there was a pro team, and now here's your chance to go support that team. The location of the stadium hasn't been announced yet. I'd be curious to see who fills out that roster. But definitely good news for the NPF, and I'm very curious to find out who fills up that team. There's going to be obviously great seniors up for grabs after the conclusion of the 2020 season, but we will see.
Yeah, and it's a business entrepreneur who was a former football and wrestling athlete at UCLA who kind of brought this to be. So like you said, the NPF has heard you. They've heard your cries for a West Coast presence. I think this season's going to be interesting. You know, obviously going to be missing some big studs for the Olympics. But I'm excited there are 6 teams, that the MPF is going to field 6 teams, and they're kind of all over the country, and you've got some national teams. And
who knows if we'll see another team pop up. I don't know.
Who knows? We don't know.
This world is crazy.
That's what makes it great.
But you know what? For those of you celebrating signing day, congratulations. And if you're not signing today, hey, just keep on going.
I didn't sign on
you
signing day, and I had a 4-year starting career at a D2 school.
Look at her now.
So, thank you for that.
Yeah, everyone has a different path.
Yeah, everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different path.
This is a total side tangent, but I was like thinking about last season playoffs, and we saw 2 JUCO pitchers holding it down for Ole Miss and Alabama. So you know what? Everybody has their own path.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't all have to be a signing day path.
Totally.
But congrats to those of you who are signing today. It's a big deal.
Yep. Well, we will be taking the next couple weeks off, and then we will come back in the beginning of December.
Sure will.
And then things you can look forward to. We have a new, this is Amanda Loren's piece coming out. I just saw the rough cut. It looks really good.
Pretty good.
And I'm excited for you to see it. And you'll get to see a different side of Amanda that I don't think any of us have seen. I haven't seen it until I did the interview.
Get ready, Gator fans.
But thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys in December.
Put some salt on your turkeys.